Chris hasn't had his coffee yet this morning, everybody.
I'm just going to be like,
how did that happen?
Welcome to Sunrise
didn't
Extra.
have time.
Happy Monday. We're doing something fun today because my in-laws got my 2-year-old daughter, sorry, I just kicked you under the table, an Etch-a-Sketch, which is a little much for a 2-year-old.
Well,
it's
but
a little
that's
much
a
for
great
me.
toy.
It is a great
Circle.
toy. I looked it up from Wikipedia. It was made in 1960. And we're doing an Etch-a-Sketch challenge. Can we, and I printed off these three, relatively simple, draw a circle.
I don't think drawing a circle with an Etch-a-Sketch is
right?
easy.
I know, it seems easy, but it's not. Or write hello. So Chris McGinnis is first up. He is testing his skills at the old Etch-a-Sketch.
What are you trying to do first, Chris?
I'm drawing the circle.
Are you
except
really?
it's not
Pretty
really
dang good.
Well, it's
I thought that was darn near impossible to do actually on an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah, you got to do them both at the same time.
yeah. I mean, but it's not. It's more like a lemon. How's that? Does that work? Lemon circle.
It's circular.
It's circular. There. Okay.
So I asked on Facebook
anyway.
last night does the Etch-a-Sketch from 1960 still have merit for kids today?
It looks like Australia.
And so these are
Just
some
drew
of
Australia.
the comments that we got on this post. And it's kind of far away, so I'm trying to read, first of all, some of them. So Annie says, I think it would be good. Something other than electronic screen time has to be beneficial, even though it is somewhat screen-like. And Janet said, I loved the Etch-a-Sketch as a kid.
Love, love.
If I had a child, I would get one for them to play with. It helps with drawing skills, creativity, and hand-eye coordination. I'd rather see a child use this than a screen or tablet, which is too hypnotizing. My very good friend, Jordan. Try and draw the pencil.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I can't do that.
Jordan says, yes, she got this for her son Drew for Christmas, and he likes it.
Awesome.
Drew is about 4 years old.
Yeah.
Eric Burris loved these in the 70s. Shrinky Dinks and Light Bright. Awesome toys.
Oh my gosh,
Love the Light
Shrinky
Bright.
Dinks.
I remember Shrinky Dinks.
I haven't thought about those
really good
things in
circle.
forever.
You stuck them in the oven, didn't you?
So I know the title on our stream says we're going to be talking about Fitbits and like PE class kind of going away. We're going to get to that in a second. I had to set this up. Try and... Do you want to try another one? It looks like
Not
you wanna
really.
try
My
too.
first
If I'm
attempt
going to
was.
try one of those,
I did Australia.
Do you remember how
Instead
to
of a
erase
circle.
these?
Yeah.
Shake it, right?
Flip it over and shake it like this.
Oh, you had it. I thought you just shook it.
Yeah, because I was reading last night.
don't
It's
think you have
like
to flip it over,
aluminum, like fibers.
Let's see.
And when you're doing this,
Google
it's
this.
actually scratching it off. You
Oh.
try?
You don't have to flip it upside down. though, do
Switch
you? I think
seats
you
with
can
him
flip it.
so Jay can see
As I
you doing
recall.
it.
See, etch.
If I had a choice, I would choose to
Etch-a-Sketch.
try hello. Because I think the
hello.
pencil is impossible,
All right.
and even a circle.
Try hello.
Artiste Drew.
Okay. So while Drew is doing that,
I wish the little dot was here instead of
Hey,
in the middle.
We'll
Joanne.
start it over there and then.
Good morning.
Oh, okay, that's smart. Good morning.
Says, got one for granddaughter for traveling.
That's awesome.
It's on our Facebook page, yep. People
Good.
love it.
People still buying them. Yeah.
Are you guys, anybody getting a little Instagram action here? I'm having a little.
Yes, I had to restart it, but
That's what I need
it's
to
on
do.
now.
All right. Okay.
And we are watching you guys on all the platforms.
You gave me
so-
the key there. I would not have figured out.
See?
I would not
You're
have figured
doing it
out.
already.
I started drawing something and then got my cursor down into the corner and then shook it clean and then started in the corner. So now I can do
an
the
L.
Like he's trying to do the hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Excellent.
I mean, do kids' attention
One mistake.
spans, do they have room for Etch-a-Sketch in their lives now?
I think they do. I remember when especially my firstborn, I remember when he was little, we spent tons of money on really great gifts and fancy whiz-bang things. And what did he love? When he was really little, he'd get into the bottom cupboard and get the pots and pans out and like bang on things and like use his imagination. And I think there's always room for that. If it's an imagination toy, go for it.
Start it over. Chris, what do you think? Would Patrick like even sit down for a minute and try this?
He'd probably give it a shot. I'm kind of in the camp with Brenda though. He actually has a bottom drawer in the kitchen. It's all full of like old like yogurt containers and stuff, and he just gets in there and throws them out and plays with them. And he likes to make coffee. And he really likes to make waffles now. Making waffles, my wife will say, it used to take 10 minutes and now it takes 30, but it's more fun.
Yep, absolutely.
And he likes to participate in all of that. And he likes to participate in all the chores, because that's fun for him.
That will wear off by the time he's a teenager.
By the time the time he's actually productive at it, right?
I mean, to me, this is a hands-on toy, no different than any other hands.
This is great.
I do every time almost almost every time make the mistake of going left when I want to go right, or
You're
right
getting
when I want
there.
to go left. But
Okay, as you're doing this, our topic that we put out there on Facebook was a story about out of Virginia that says that they're trying to end a school district. They're giving kids Fitbits, and they're getting rid of PE class, and they're giving kids credit for any kind of exercise they do outside of school as their PE credits instead of actual PE class.
Okay.
So if you already, are in a sport, Rod is rolling his eyes. Let me
My list
tell
of
you
things
some
I
more.
think are ridiculous that we're doing in society now
agree.
would fill 10 old sets of encyclopedias.
I agree.
Go finish setting it up,
Let me
though.
pull up this article here. So it's in Virginia, and they're saying that kids are actually enjoying taking other electives of their choosing, and running or going to soccer practice or doing whatever they do outside of school, and they get credit for their workouts. They interviewed a girl who's a freshman in high school. She wears her school-issued Fitbit and getting in at least 30-minute workouts a week outside of school hours. And she has an app on her computer that tracks it, blah, blah, blah. And she says it's freeing her up to take 3 elective courses instead of just 2 in school.
I love what people are saying.
Well, that part
And
is
there's a lot of standing around in
Yeah.
regular PE.
So-
Doing this way, she has much harder workouts, but you're not getting the teamwork and
That's exactly
line
what-
up
yep.
and work together and all that.
That's exactly what Kathy Dressel was saying. PE is also about learning to be a team player, trying a variety of sports and so much more. The independence of a Fitbit has a time and place, but I don't think it's in PE class.
Well, I know my daughter's school, they have some classic PE classes, but part of that is also they teach the kids about good health. So they're not always playing a game or even doing something physical. It's a combination of kind of health/PE is what that period is about. And I think the model that they have at my daughter's school is a good one.
Is it 4 days, like ours is 4 days of PE essentially and 1 day of health? I don't know if it's the same model that your daughter
I
has.
think Natasha, and I don't know, I guess is what I should say, but I think she has the class at most 3 days a week. And there are some times where it's just health. So maybe it is a similar program to what your kids have.
Because I would say that the health component is absolutely valuable.
Yeah,
It
I
brings
agree.
up discussions at home that probably wouldn't otherwise come up, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But I do think that this idea, if your child is already active in, say, after-school activities, doing whatever sport or activity they're doing, and they can get credit for that, and then take something else during school that would benefit them, I'm all for it. I mean, I get the idea that people that are against this idea are concerned that kids aren't going to get the physical activity that they need. You still have to get that. I mean, it's still a requirement, it sounds like, with this idea, but you're allowed to fulfill that requirement outside of school if you can, if you're able.
Barbara Trudell's got a nice comment on here. Just as she says, as a non-coordinated person, I would have loved being able to choose my own form of exercise. I mean, you don't have to be an athlete, right? And some of these maybe games and whatnot that we all played in gym class require. Well, if you're not good at it, you don't get as active in it, and it's maybe not as fun. And so if you could choose something different, that's a plus.
So one of the earlier comments we got, Nicole, good morning. She says, no way. PE is so important to develop muscles and the brain and the body as a whole. Parents would totally lie on a Fitbit. Is that even possible?
Well, listen, I know that the Fitbit is part of the discussion. I'm of the opinion of if your child is signed up and participating in an organized sport, and you can show credit not because the parent is signing something, but some sort of a coach or administrator is signing something that says this student participated in 6 hours of soccer.
See that corny out there on the pitcher's mound?
6 hours of soccer practice, whatever it is, that should fulfill the requirement.
And I want to say, Natasha will miss X amount of days at school throughout the year because she's a figure skater, because of ice skating functions that she goes to. And our school does accept some credit from her ice skating hours. I don't know the particulars, but it's along the lines of what you're talking about. Yeah.
Now, that makes sense. That your daughter is so physically active.
She's
She does
on the
not need
rink
that
for
PE
2.5
class.
hours every morning before school.
Right,
She's
so that's
ice skating,
what
so.
some kids are saying of like, let's
Yeah,
get credit
so
for
that makes
that and
sense.
not,
That
you know,
makes
make her
sense.
do busy work.
That makes
So
sense.
Karen says asinine, keep PE classes and keep PE teachers.
I haven't heard that
Can
word
I say
in
that's a
while.
good word that I'm
Asinine.
sorry we don't hear very often
I know.
anymore?
I
Thanks for
haven't
bringing
heard that
back
in a while.
asinine.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think I've ever actually spelled it myself.
And
now I know how.
and it's completely PG for television.
Hey, you
so
can
there
say
go.
whatever you want.
Sandy Templeton weighing in, PE during school also gives a movement break to kids who need to burn off energy in order to sit still or clear their heads. That's a
Probably
big
value
one.
to
Wait
that.
a minute.
That's a
Wait
big
a
one.
minute, Brenda. We already have like 2 recess periods in school.
That's true.
It's not like they're getting hit
Don't you
over
have
the
to
head
go
all
through like
day.
the rite
Even
of
high
passage of
school
getting like
recess.
pegged in the
Do you
face?
remember? Think
though,
back to
during
like high school
dodgeball?
recess.
There was
Did you
no
have
recess in high
Yeah,
school.
there was like you didn't. You had gym class and then you had
PE.
a lunch break,
High
right?
school.
You didn't
I
have-
had we went outside in high school.
You had recess
But not
in
at
high school?
they don't call it recess.
Oh yeah, after we ate lunch.
You called it skipping.
No, after we ate
we had
lunch, we went
gym.
outside. I just
Yeah.
can't remember.
We had
I'm
gym
trying to
classes
think real
electively
quickly what the heck we did
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah. We had a-
But we
we had
definitely
But it
three
wasn't
days a
part of
week.
lunchtime?
That was part of lunchtime.
Yeah.
That's called lunch.
Yeah, remember, I went to, we ate lunch in the cafeteria, and then we went outside and we hung out for X number of minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't think we were just sitting around talking, we were doing stuff.
Yeah.
But I will give it. So one of our
Recessing.
favorite
We were
teachers
recessing.
is Mr. Joy at my daughter's class. Mr. Joy is the physical education instructor. And again, he does a heck of a job of really making it more about just playing games. He stresses the importance of being active, the importance of physical fitness. They talk about health. They do a lot of things in that class that I would hate to see go away, that I think are very valuable.
Now that I think about it, we were just hanging out outside after lunch. It was, I guess, something you would call recess.
Well, you just finished
We
your
weren't
food
eating
and you go
anymore.
sit
We were done
outside.
lunching.
No, but it was part of the lunch period.
Yes.
I know what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not recess.
It's a break from the grind of school. It's a recess from class.
I missed you so much, Carney. I'm so glad you're back from
Isn't
vacation.
that what recessing means? Taking a break?
Yeah, to recess.
Yeah, we recessed. We recessed outside, hung out,
We
and
recessed our
discussed topics
minds
like,
and our bodies.
what's the best Guns N' Roses song in your opinion? I remember talking about that during our recess period.
There you go.
I think this whole Fitbit thing, I mean, I don't know. It could work for some kids, but like it's just another way of kind of alienating us, right? Instead of working together as a team, or let's play volleyball, or let's play, you know, like gym hockey or something, and like working
I think
together.
that's a good point. Absolutely.
And it's further, okay, you go off by
Everybody's
yourself
here.
and just type it in and send it in instead
Yeah.
of like talking to each other.
Yes,
And
yes.
like moving, and this article talks about like kids moving their body and trying to figure out how to do that amongst other people, you know,
Yes.
like
And that's a
Proprioception.
pushing,
That is a-
yeah,
yes.
sportsmanship.
That is an issue.
Hey, you want to hear from a PE teacher?
Yes,
Yes.
please. Good
Let-
morning.
Let me tell you something. No, it's the PE teacher is Jen
Hi, Jen.
Stadstad.
Hi, good morning.
STAD, STAD.
Hi, Jen.
Stadstad, right? Any arguments?
What does Jen say?
I want to hear what
Your
Jen has to
comments.
say.
Good morning, Jen. Jen says she's a PE teacher. She says she's not a fan of this idea. She says the focus has shifted over the 22 years that she has been a PE teacher from skills and drills to learning about lifelong fitness, playing games that kids can play their entire lives, and also teaching the kids about the importance of being active, both physically and mentally.
yeah.
That's from a PE teacher named Jen Stadstad.
Good stuff.
Dad's dad.
Yeah, good
Double
stuff.
stad.
Can't
Stad
argue
squared.
with that.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what this article also talks about. Okay.
Yeah.
So we all agree, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to
No,
fly
I'm
in the
not agreeing
face
with
of
that.
a lot of the news stories we've had
You
over
say
the
don't
past
have
years.
PE
And that is
class
the problem
and
of kids
just have
not being
kids get
active
credit?
enough.
Yes.
It
and
kind of contradicts years of
Boys
doing
are
those
not allowed
stories.
PE.
Well, does it contradict, or does it just offer another? It offers a way to cheat, to not do it if
I mean,
you don't
to me,
want
it
to do
smells like a way to get. I'm sorry. walking to the grocery store and back on your Fitbit doesn't classify as leading an
No,
active
walking.
lifestyle.
No. Walking burns as
Right,
many
but
calories. Actually,
I'm just saying you need more than that.
a mile run burns the same amount of calories as a mile walk.
I agree, because it is more than just about the walking and getting those miles in or that fitness in. There's a teamwork part of the PE class that you get from participating in team sports.
Yeah.
My point is, I don't like the Fitbit idea, but I like the idea of if your child is already active in sports outside of school, that should count for their PE credit.
Oh my gosh,
Don't get rid
you've
of
got to
PE
hear
class.
this.
Yeah. What do you got?
Katie Wetzler, my goodness,
Hi,
your
Katie.
girl is something else. Our daughter is in year-round sports in middle school. She also plays in band, and that is her only elective period. So we sign a waiver, and she's allowed to log her practice and her game hours as PE and play in the band and have a rotating elective. Only one other student is allowed this option. Her grades are required to stay on honor roll. It's been huge for her as she wants to have an engineering major and is able to take a lot of pre-STEM classes,
okay.
and still be in band.
Well, that's
Woo!
perfect young lady. Sounds
Yeah,
like.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
no
you, that
kidding.
is a busy kid.
It's a lot going on.
But I think that's what Drew's talking about
that's the
too.
idea.
So that makes sense. You know, if you can show us that you would be better served taking another elective, yeah, that sounds perfect.
So
I'm
then
not
do you
saying
just
band-
let kids have a choice then,
Yes.
like before
Yes.
school year starts, of you want to do
Absolutely.
PE or not?
That's it. You don't get rid of PE class. It's still there, and it's still
You
a
have to
requirement,
do-
but you don't have to take it if you're fulfilling that requirement outside of school. With a certain number of hours that will be determined
Well,
by
now that you
somebody
put it
smarter
that
than me.
way,
It's sensible.
that's a pretty good idea, Drew.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not putting it that way.
You would have gotten credit for, like running or cross country or whatever versus
Now
like,
I need that
you have to
A,
run
so
a
I'm still
mile
going to take
today.
PE.
That did help the GPA. I mean, let's not lie
So,
about that.
Nina, Jeff Lucas says, what do the parents of that school district think in Virginia? Does the article say that?
Let's see. Grace, the girl who was interviewed, her mom remembers how hard gym class, soccer, and softball games were for her. She was always last picked in every activity. She'd like to see the county go even farther and grant waivers from PE to kids that play school sports, which is
Kinda
what you
what we're
guys were just
talking
talking about. Yeah. So kids are burning 2,000 calories during a practice and more at every game. I wish the schools would catch up with the times.
You know, I got a C in college. I took a bowling class, and I got a C.
That's funny.
In bowling class.
Well, it turns
How's
out
that even possible?
because it turns out they graded you, and I wasn't paying attention. But you bowl a game the first day of class, they write down what your average was, and then your grade is based on how much you improve your average through the deal.
That doesn't seem right either.
No.
Had you known that, you would have bowled it too.
actually-
Absolutely.
And I remember that
right.
impacted my
That's
GPA
really good.
that semester.
That can't really be how it was based.
Has Jay seen this before
Well,
you
that's
destroy
pretty
it?
I did the
Impressive.
pencil, guys.
Yeah, that's
Nina did
good.
a
That's really
pencil. Isn't
good.
that
Nina for the win.
Yeah.
Although
Very
Drew's
good.
hello was pretty
Mike
good.
Trout.
Pencil was pretty easy.
Wow.
Drew did
Yeah.
the hello.
We don't need to do any more.
That's pretty impressive. I
She
agree.
has
What do I
won.
do? I
Try
just
one.
shake this
What
thing?
college did you go to, Rod? I'm still dumbfounded by that idea. That if I bowled a
was
zero
University of
on
Missouri.
day one of the class and then I bowled a 50,
That's like an F.
that would be an A. But if you bowled a 125 the first day and then bowled a 126, you'd get like a C?
They do that a lot.
Yeah.
When my daughter was at St. Mary's, that's what they did at the beginning, and she was a gymnast. And I
They just average out
the
your scores?
statute of limitations has run out. She knew that, and she's like, "I'm not going to whip out as many push-ups as I can actually do because I know by the end
That is
I'm going to
ridiculous.
have to improve that much more." So she just took it easy on the first.
Do we all agree that that
smart.
system's not right then? That needs to be corrected.
Yeah, I'd like my transcripts to be altered, please, if we can go back and
That's wrong.
erase that, make it at least a B.
Hey kids, do not give it your all today because you'll be graded at the end of the year by doing better than today. That's ridiculous.
Little Dragon 2 on Instagram, good morning. And she says her son takes a swimming class for his PE credit at Valley Catholic. Swimming.
Swimming is
one of the
great
best
exercise.
sports you
Wow.
can do. Yes.
Lifelong.
Really good exercise.
Marita says, much love to you all. Happy New Year to all. Welcome back.
I'd like to point out if you don't know how to swim, it's probably not a great exercise to do.
Well,
That's true. Lots of
so
laying
you should
around.
learn.
Yeah.
Learn to swim.
Someone
Swim.
who
Monica
struggles with
Corey
swimming,
says
I
I'm not a great
Monica
swimmer, but I
Corey-
could tread water for hours.
Monica Corey says not a choice, an option for exceptional students. And then John, how would you say this? Jaspansky?
Gispansky.
Gispansky.
Exercise is the
Hi,
number
John.
one defense against all illness. It's a good start.
I go with washing hands.
Yes, I need to.
Seriously.
So practical.
It's like 1 and 1A.
All right, so what do we vote on the Etch-a-Sketch?
Well, I didn't even try to do a pencil. I just drew something I knew I could pull off. There you go.
A building?
It's a Yeah, that's my drawing.
That's Rodney.
Is that what Missouri looks like?
That's what. It's closer to what Illinois looks like, I think, than
there you
Missouri.
go.
Backwards Utah.
Nicely done.
Backwards Utah.
I guess maybe we should just hang on to
It's
this
a
until
skinny
she's
Utah.
older.
There you go. Yeah.
2 years older.
In the end, do we all now? I think we all now agree, 5 for 5, that PE should be an elective, and if your child is doing extracurricular athletic activities, that should count towards their PE credit. Are we all on board with this idea?
No, elective means it's 100% elective. It should be.
I agree with
you.
you.
Should have
PE should be
options.
one or the other.
Yeah.
There is a
if you are
requirement.
doing other.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
I agree with
rephrase
the
that.
spirit of what you're saying, though.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a requirement, but you don't have to take it if you're fulfilling that requirement outside of the school.
We are a dysfunctional school board here on Sunrise Extra.
Something needs to change. I just don't know what
Be
it is.
glad we're not in charge.
Oh, isn't that the
Bye, you
truth?
guys. See
that
you
it?
tomorrow. That's it.
You want more?
You can have the whole.
You want more of this?
Okay, we're
Another
signing
shot
off.
on this thing.